Hey, what's going on, y'all? How you doing? Vinny Cuz here. And last 2 weeks, I've been pretty busy. A lot of private work. But I did manage to squeeze in some Uber and Lyft in there. Not as much last week, but it's still pretty good. So we're going to bring you those earnings and what I've seen now that I have the additional platforms for Lyft. We have a little bit of Uber news. I'm going to scoop it off the Rideshare Guy video, and I'll put the link down below so you can watch the whole video, but some interesting stuff there. But before we get started, I kind of want to take a moment, if you don't mind, say a prayer for Christina Spacuzzi. She was a 38-year-old Uber driver, mother of four, who was robbed and shot in the back of the head. So I'll post the story here. I'll link it up in the description below, but let's just go ahead and have a moment. All right, I'm not going to go through this because it's heartbreaking. We're just out there trying to make a living, man. That's all this is, and we just got jackasses that. I don't even want to get into the politics of it because I get triggered when I see stories like this and I think about what some of these politicians say. But, hey, prayers up for her family. And hopefully justice will get served. So we'll leave that there. Anyway, all right. So now that we're through that little part of it, let's go ahead and open up the phones. Let's open up the apps. And let's see how we did. So, earnings wise, obviously I haven't driven today. Why do I always get this wrong? See details. Got to remember to see details. All right. So last week, as you can see, I really didn't put in like hardly any time. For Uber, I put in almost 4 hours. Took 5 trips. After tips, $147. Just wasn't online a lot. But $50 for an hour, it's decent. And then almost $98 for 3 hours. We're in that range where I like to be. The week before, same thing. I've been really busy. But again, 7 hours, we'll say $160. Not really that great, but not disappointing. There was some definite reasons behind that. All right. So, but we're going to go into Lyft because since I've been uploaded or upgraded to the platforms, Lux Black SUV, along with my, XL. I mean, it's been good. So let's see here. Obviously, I haven't driven today. Let's view the previous week, the 14th through the 20th. So as you can see here, didn't drive on Monday or Tuesday. Or did I drive? Nope, Wednesday. 3 rides, 2 hours. What's that? 28, 22, 49, 59. $61 right there. Didn't drive Thursday. Did not drive Friday. Saturday. 4 hours online, $110. 4 rides. Again, Lux Black, a couple of XLs. Week before that, though, we put in some time. And it's a shame that there's got to be a way I can bring down the full thing here. But Monday was a really good day. And what I wanted to show you was just basically this. Lux, Lyft XL, Lux Black XL, Lux Black, right? 10 hours on Monday, or 10 rides on Monday, 6 hours. This is really good. If you can get 10 rides in 6 hours, you're doing pretty good there. 154. And then 5 of those 10 tipped out, so that was good. XL Lux Lux, XL, Lux Black, Lux Black, Lux Black. So here we go, 4 hours, almost 5 hours, $200, roughly 5 rides, 3 tips. It's a good deal. My point to this is before all I had was XL, and it wasn't worth it to me to turn that on if I were going to miss something on Uber with a Premier ride. But I got to say, since they added these platforms in, my car has been uploaded. Now all of a sudden I'm seeing a lot of Lux Blacks. I think I maybe had 2 or 3 Black XLs, which those are unicorns anyway. But the Lux trips and the XL trips pay about the same. But the Lux Black, I've gotten a lot of Lux Black. And so I know Blaze out there, you're always asking me with your Acura there. I don't know. I don't have enough data yet to say whether or not it's worth upgrading your vehicle. But I will say this, come March 1st, because I've already gotten emails and screenshots, come March 1st, all those 2015s, and I believe, don't hold me to it, but I believe 2016s that were extended out on the Lux Black XL platforms, those are gone. And so like in the last video I said, they onboarded us early so that they would have overlapping coverage. So when these other vehicles come off, one would think that with all those vehicles coming off, we don't know how many new vehicles are coming on because, hey, cars right now are 20 to 30% overvalued, right, when you go to buy them. So that's a no. These bigger trucks, Suburbans, Escalades, Navigators, Expeditions, they suck gas. And right now, let's see, in my market, we're at $350 for regular unleaded. So those are a lot of things you got to take into consideration. I would probably still hold off if I could and just wait on it to see how the apps develop. Because when I show you the charts in a little bit, you're going to understand where I'm coming from with that. All right. What else did I wanted to talk about today? Oh, rideshare guy. Now, I'm not a big fan of, I shouldn't say that. I mean, listen, they do a lot of good stuff. I've watched Harry for years. But you go back like 2 years ago, I stopped watching Uber and Lyft videos because it seemed to me like more people were just trying to make money off our attention, which I guess that's what you're supposed to do. But they weren't driving, right? So you had 2 or 3 guys on there that would make these videos and only one of them drove. Like Harry doesn't drive. He's very good analytically, MIT grad, all that good stuff. And he's making a good business for himself by bringing us this information. But a lot of times, I don't know. I'm just not, I'm not feeling it with those guys. Not that they're bad. They're actually pretty good. And you can check them on podcasts and Spotify and YouTube, obviously. Anyway, I don't even know this guy's name. That's bad, ain't it? But anyway, Uber announces upfront pricing for drivers. So if you are on Uber now, right, and you get scheduled rides, or if you're able to get a scheduled ride, I have yet to be able to get one in the app. But it'll tell you how much the ride's going to be. And then, you have the opportunity on the reservation to say, yes, I'll take the ride or no. I have seen where I guess a couple of reserved or scheduled rides that were already done that I didn't have access to, thank you, Uber, they would come through because I guess that driver wasn't able to make it. And I see that it'll tell me what the pricing is. Well, what they plan to do, and like I said, I'll link this video down below, so you should go check it out. I don't even know if it's in our market. He's saying it's 20 markets. They're going to, and let's see if I can find it. There it is right there. So what they're going to do is they're going to send you how much you're going to get paid for the ride before you accept it. So it could be $5, $10, $20, $100. And you'll know where you're going. Let's see, 50-mile trip, 45 minutes, City Hall, 3 miles away. What the hell? It's only, that's an Uber X. Holy shit, 15, what? Come on. Anyway, that can't be right. A 50-mile trip is only going to pay $15.28? Fuck out of here. Anyway, I'll probably chop that out. Anyway, I'm going to show you the pricing up front, and you can decide if you want the ride there or not. The other thing that he was talking about was a ride trip fare rebalancing. Now, what he's suggesting is that Uber is going to start to pay a little more for the shorter trips, but they're going to pay a little less for the longer trips. That's not cool. They're getting away from the per mile per minute. You won't even be able to see it. We won't be able to see it in the app, what we got paid per mile per minute. They claim it's more transparency. I claim bullshit. If they can catch, a nickel to $1 to $3 more off of us into their pockets, it's going to be better for them. And again, like I say, we're going to revert back to the stock price. So you see what I'm talking about. They need to make money, but should they be trying to make money more off of what they're already getting off us to begin with? I mean, they assume no risk, right? And if you go back to the article with Miss Christina, right, the young lady who just passed, and if you looked at the Uber spokesman's statement, I mean, is bullshit. But anyway, I'm not here to bitch. I'm just letting you guys know what I'm seeing. All right, so, that's a lot. All right, so we're going to look at the charts real quick. Let's bring these down here for you. Oh, where'd it go? Come here. Come here, Susie. All right. Remember I told you I've been showing you guys these charts for a reason, because I want you guys to know, where they're at with their stock price. Now, this is a daily chart. And remember, I was telling you guys that I wouldn't look at purchasing any Uber stock until it filled this gap down here, which it finally did. It filled in this gap. If you don't know what a gap is simply when the market jumps, right? When the stock jumps, whether it be up or down, this is called a gap, right? 9 times out of 10, 95% of the time, at some point, this gap is going to fill. Doesn't matter what the stock is. It's going to fill. Now, obviously, you keep an eye on the market to see what it's doing, but this absolutely came in here and filled this gap. So now, earnings was interesting for Uber last week because they gave one set of earnings, and the stock jumped a little bit. You can see here, but then the very next day, here I'll show you. Right? Oh, that's the updated earnings. But here was earnings day. Earnings, a couple of days before earnings on most stock, we kind of have an idea of what it's going to do, whether it's going to be really good news or bad news or just nominal in the middle news. And you'll start to see the stock price go up approaching earnings. But then what happens, 75% of the time, the very next day, stock tanks. People sell the news. Well, Uber pulled some kind of a move where they announced their earnings after market close that day. And they were okay. They weren't bad. But then the next morning, they adjusted those earnings higher. And when they did that, again, big cliche in the world, in the trading world, you sell the news. You buy the fear and you sell the news. When there's blood in the water, you become a shark. So, I don't understand how they could adjust their earnings from the night before. In less than 12 hours, they adjusted everything. And it looked like it was really good. Overall revenue was up $408 million. That's a lot of money. They were estimated to be 30 cents loss per share. They actually came in at 44 cents plus to the positive per share. These guys in these markets, and I always say there's 3 sets of books, man. There's the books for the accountant, there's the books for the IRS, and then there's the actual books. And I got a feeling the actual books look like crap. The books for the accountant was the initial earnings that they reported. And and then you got your shareholder IRS type stuff. Okay, anyway, I'm not going to bore you guys with this too much. Let's go look at Lyft real quick. Well, before I do that, let's go back to Uber for a minute. So if you're in the market to buy stocks, I mean, listen, here was another little gap fill needed to happen, right? You see the gaps were filled. I'm going to wait. Once again, I'm going to wait. I'm going to be a bear. Markets are all jacked up right now. Fed hikes, Russia, Ukraine, and that's a whole nother ball game, but we're not going to get into politics. I'm going to wait even longer. I want to see what it does here because it has bounced off into this area. See, this is a supply demand zone area. So that's a good support. I want to see what it does here. Hold on. I'm going to show you. See how it bounced right off here? So I want to see if it gets back to here again. And if this is going to hold up and give us a good support, or if we're going to crash down to 28.31. Again, I would wait. When you get bad news, there's another story too. A young lady in New Orleans. Something happened where after she got dropped off from her Uber ride, I think she went to the hospital and she passed away. I'm not sure what's going on there, but all you got to do is type in Uber into Google and click news, and you'll see. Y'all got to be careful out there. I don't think there was anything Miss Christina could have done. She had a dash cam. That's how they wound up tracking this guy down, and cell phone GPS tracking. But she was just in a bad spot. Even if you carry, conceal, what do you do when you got a gun pointed to the back of your head? It's dangerous. It's crazy out there. Y'all got to be careful. Know where you're driving. Some places probably have a greater chance for something to go wrong, but we all know something could go wrong anywhere. I don't even want, man. And I got another video I'm going to put out, some good rides. Like I had a really good ride last week with somebody's birthday, and it was fun. Same thing with Lyft here. So Lyft's earnings were decent, right? But again, you see, earnings went up, good news went up again, and then it started to kind of sell off a little bit. But we're in another supply zone. And Lyft, has two gaps to fill. We've got a gap right here, and then we got another little small gap down here. So depending on, what the markets want to do as far as leisure, recreational, because let's be honest, Uber and Lyft are leisure and recreational. Yes, there are people that are using it to get back and forth to work, but they're starting to find that, because, and rightfully so, Uber and Lyft are charging more to the rider. They need to. They're a business. You're not going to have that everyday baseline like you used to, I don't think. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, this video is all over the place, and I apologize for that. The only other thing there was one thing I wanted to tell you. So there was, I was having a discussion with a friend of mine, and I've noticed it myself. Down here in Fort Lauderdale, we got the Hard Rock Casino Hotel, and there's no as much business that comes out of there. And this is kind of a double-edged sword because drivers have done it to themselves. There's no place to wait over there. So say there's a big concert, Elton John or Rod Stewart or, it could be anything. Any of the concerts. They pull some major performers there. If there's a concert there or an event and you want to wait for a ride in that area, there's no place to wait. You can try sneaking into the employee lots, but they chase you out. Taxis have an area, but they pay for that area. Uber and Lyft aren't paying for any areas for us to wait. Not like at a football game or a hockey game. It's the same thing down at Miami Arena. Well, Miami Arena, oh boy, I just dated myself. FTX Arena, where the Heat play, and major concerts there. There's no real place to wait. There's no Uber area. You got to kind of find a spot and hope you don't get thrown out of it, right? But understand, they're not obligated to supply a waiting area. As an example, BB&T or Florida Live Arena, they've got an area for us, and it works for us there because the drivers tend not to take advantage of it, and there's so much parking. So, it kind of works. Joe Robbie Stadium, Hard Rock Stadium, where the Dolphins play and the Hurricanes play. Now, the Uber waiting area is a mile away from the stadium. So those folks wanting to get a ride after there, they got to go a mile away. We used to be right outside the stadium, but Uber and Lyft decided they didn't want to pay for that access anymore for us. So you're stuck there waiting on people and trying to get a ride. There's no real waiting area. The airports have supplied areas for us to wait. But if you ever go through these airports, they're dirty, they're nasty, they're trashed. Nobody's in there but drivers. Now, maybe as drivers, if you took a little more responsibility and treated those folks that are working there with a little respect, understand that that's their business. They don't have to give us an area to wait. Maybe it wouldn't be so bad. So, yeah, that's just my 2 thoughts on that. All right, with that, I'm out. I'll post up this other video in a little bit. It'll be all dash cam footage. I don't know how that works out and plays out with people allowing it to happen or not, but all the names and faces will be changed to protect the innocent. Peace out.